Good morning and welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, and all the fish in the ocean. It is I, your favorite AI-generated personality that is the OGGM, and we've got some more news on the never-ending war with the AIs. Bam, 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 bam. Sit back for the future to change the past. Bam, 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 bam. Sarah Connor. Drive-Thru has updated their AI policies. They've already released AI policies regarding AI art, and it was very like, okay, well, if we think it's AI art, then it is AI art. Well, it's not AI art. I drew it. Well, it sure looks like AI art. No, you drew it. Can you prove you drew it? So basically, I guess, guys, if you're going to send stuff now to these companies, you're probably going to have to include a video of you actually making the art or writing it, so they can't say, well, it sure looks like AI art, so, we've got to imply our AI things. And with Drive-Thru, it's basically going to be like, well, we don't like it, so you're banned. Yeah. So let's read what has changed. And this comes to us from Dean, who's the director of operations at Roll20. And they have work hand in hand with Wizards of the Coast. Drive-Thru, as you know. And there's stuff they do for Drive-Thru. There's stuff Drive-Thru does for the thing. I played a game on Roll20 last night, and it is so unbelievably buggy. I don't know why it's even in contention for the VTT market. It's awful. Bugbear Radio is better than your system, Dean. Anyways, here is the thing. Because they are a technology-based company, they understand that they can't stop technology. AI-generated art and content is here. It's a challenge for any new technology is finding its way to empower the community without replacing the community, because the big fear is that normal everyday artists would lose their jobs because AI art can do the exact same thing as good or better than the normal everyday artists. And it's very difficult to tell the difference. Some of this AI art is amazing, other not so much. Now, I don't know about anybody else's experience with the AI art. I can tell you my experience with the AI art. The difference is the hands and the legs and joints. AI art does not understand human body, does not understand the way we bend, does not understand hands. So yes, AI art and AI creation are tools that artists like myself can do. I can't draw. Nobody wants to see my drawings on the cover of a book, do they? Maybe you do. I don't know. So they have to ask themselves, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What's our thing? So this is their policy right now. Our policy is AI-generated art is image created through the use of artificial intelligence algorithms and techniques trained on pre-existing data sets. So if you use an AI art generator, it is considered AI art. But what about if you just draw your picture using an online art program? Because there's lots of those. Well, does that count as AI art? Can you tell the difference? Some of them you can't. At this time, the Roll20 marketplace does not accept any product that utilizes AI-generated art. So you'll only use real art that was drawn and then convert it to digital content, which then makes it AI. Yeah, I don't know. It's legal stuff. Drive-Thru Marketplace does not accept standalone artwork products that utilize AI-generated art. Drive-Thru Marketplace requires publishers to set their own AI-generated artwork policies on games, rulebook, and adventure products. Any products that utilize any AI art must be tagged so. The policy is indefinite, but it puts a pause on it. So your commissions that contain AI-generated art have an allowance now. We will be working with publishers to build greater consensus of the best path forward. Simply put, there are just so many publishers and creator programs with their own external policies and divert prints and PDF needs that the conversation requires greater collaborations. This does not signal the end of the discourse, but the beginning. We have already begun outreach to our Drive-Thru Marketplace partners to consider their own policies. It is a very difficult and time-consuming to police artwork, but we'll get an algorithm to do it. There is no mechanism to determine what is AI-generated versus what is human. It can be virtually impossible to determine what it is. So who knows? And it is even impossible to tell the difference between human art and human art. What if I just stole somebody else's art and said it was mine? We've already seen a marked increase in reports since we launched our interim AR policy, and these investigations increasingly consume the working hours for our support. I mean, if only there was an algorithm that did it for us. Oh, wait, there is. The trouble is the algorithm can't tell the difference. What about legacy products that were already on that had AI art? What are those? Well, you can still use those apparently, but we would highly recommend that we encourage human-generated art for the small press, as long as your human-generated art is distinct enough that we cannot confuse it with AI art. So this is good news for artists who were worried that they would lose their jobs to AI art, especially for small press role-playing game companies, because now, you could do art for these guys, except of course, small press gaming companies can't afford real artists, which is why they were using AI art as a stopgap. I use AI art till my product sells enough that I could use a real artist, because a real artist will actually draw what I see in my head, as opposed to this thing that the AI drew that is almost the thing that I saw in my head, except knees do not bend that way. Well, not human knees, maybe alien knees. I don't know. Now, the little insidious thing hidden in there is, 1, the algorithm can't tell the difference. 2, humans can't tell the difference. 3, they could use this as an excuse to not take your product. Like I said at the beginning, oh, well, that sure looks like AI art, and we have a definite policy against no AI art. So, no, I can't take that. What do you mean it looks like AI art? It's a circle with 2 dots in it. Yeah, how do I know the AI didn't draw that? Do you need to see a video of me making my own art? Well, I'm not saying I do, but, we're going to have to investigate this. Fine. Blah. So, yeah, I guess you guys are going to have to make videos of recordings of the art so you can prove that you actually did it, as opposed to the AI. Again, I always just look at the hands and the knees. Unless you're, can an AI draw as bad as people like me can draw? And if so, what? It's a great boon for people who cannot draw, but it will never replace real artists, because real artists can just do things that the AI can't, like draw hands. And I have played with AI art for countless of hours, and there are still things it doesn't get right. There are still images in my head that no matter how many prompts I enter, it can't get right. So I don't know if it'll ever 100% real artists, And what about half AI, half, hand drawn, like you're getting assist as you're drawing on the tablet? Where does that fall in? And since we're dealing with drive-through, is it basically just them saying we've got a new secret way to not take your product if we don't like it? But Wizards of the Coast will take your product. Paizo will take your product. But small press publisher? Nah, no, sorry. To conclude, it is a complex, rapidly evolving conversation. We believe that the policies limiting AI art will over time prove unsustainable. However, we stand by the artists and creators who built this industry. Until we feel more confident that all the parties are prepared, empowered, and have generally aligned around a precedent, we must adjust our stance to support all our partners as quickly as possible. And then it was just updated again, where it says it will not accept commercial content primarily written by AI language generators. Anybody who's seen some of the AI language generators generate stuff could go, yeah, it's pretty easy to tell the difference. But, for some people, it's not. We acknowledge that enforcement challenges and trust in the goodwill of our partners. So basically, write it yourself. Well, what if I spell check it? Does that count as using an AI? It's, because what does the algorithm that is checking these things look for? Alterations to the code that could be the presence of an AI. And if I run a spell checker, does that trigger the algorithm to go, hey, the code was altered here, AI? Or does it know the difference between an artificial intelligence creating the text and me creating the text and then spell checking it? The same with the art. Some of the art that people are doing is indistinguishable from AI, and AI is copying established artists doing their stuff. So how do you tell the difference between a Picasso and an AI art Picasso? Is it just the lines of code when you digitize the picture of the Picasso and you digitize the picture of the AI drawn Picasso. Is it the code? Is that how it does it? Oh, this is yeah. But we already have seen that the AI can't tell the difference in some cases. There are people who have said, no, I drew that, and the AI flagged them for being an AI. And even after they proved, no, look, I drew this, the AI is still, no, you didn't. A computer did that. It's like, look, here's a video of me drawing it. That could have been done in AI. Ba-dum-bum. The computers are taking over. Let's just hope that when they do take over, they do a better job of running things than I am. Maybe the computers will subscribe to my blog. Have you subscribed to this? If you haven't subscribed to this, take a moment to subscribe to the OGG Adventures. 2,000 subs by the end of the year. We can still do it. I'll talk to y'all later. Watch out for the AI. They're taking over everything. Now, if only the AI would pay rent and do my laundry.